everybody, it's April 13th, which is actually Friday the 13th. I don't think of that as an unlucky day, incidentally, because I had a great experience on Friday the 13th at one point in time in my life, and it's always been a defining memory of a very, very lucky day. So, anyway, it is Friday the 13th, and what have we done this last week as far as the wrap-up is concerned? Well, one of the things that we did is in the intermediate voice course, one of the things that you were given last week was the narrow to wider vowel concept, and started with you vocalizing on your bridges, on your bridge points, and then going from that into actually starting to develop more narrow to wider vowel sounds. And that's an important moment in time, because what's going on there is that you're going from a narrow sound that your vocal cords can hold on to into sounds where the vowels get a little wider, and sometimes it's harder to hold on to those vowels because of the vowels getting wider as you're singing up through your bridges. So those exercises build strength. That's very, very important. Actually, if I remember correctly, and I think I do, what's really going on there is that you're being taught first how to keep the other two wider vowel sounds narrow. That'll move from keeping them narrow into actually widening them up. So keep on working along with the course and see how it progresses, because that's an important point for you to start to understand. Also, we're getting very close to wrapping up head voice exercises and heading into the mix, like I keep on talking about, and so I'm looking forward to getting to the point where you guys are in your mixes. Pretty soon we'll have the whole intermediate voice course wrapped up. I say pretty soon, but it'll be a little while longer. There's plenty to do yet. Okay, now on the Listen and Recognize, it's a big stellar week, and the reason why is because you have now finished both the key of B flat major and B major, which again means you've gone through all 12 keys in the Listen and Recognize series, which means you've gone through all 12 keys, the root identification segment of the course. So what you've been doing here as you're figuring out how to go from one key to another, again, I think I mentioned it before, but you're actually learning how to hear the root note or the root of chords, because it's going to follow into starting to understand more about harmony and chords soon. But you've been working on the root of those harmony and chord notes, learning the movement as it progresses through the key. It's a very, very important skill to start to develop, because as you can hear down in the bass line the chord progressions moving around, you start to get this feeling about how to respond to it. As an improvisationalist in relationship to doing things with your voice in a very short period of time, and actually understanding how to hear from major to minor and understand what you should do with a melody note or a little embellishment that you're singing at the end of something, or even just how the melody lines are actually working to the chord changes. So this is good stuff. Keep working. I always ask you to have a little tenacity in sticking with these courses, because I know it's real easy to sort of blow off the ear training stuff, be more interested in what you're doing with your voice in relationship to technique. Can understand that, but I'm looking for you to marry these two concepts together. If you do, you're going to put your mind and your voice in places that you've never been before. So I hope you're working on it, and little by little, we're growing. And as you can see here, I'm always sort of speaking to people who are on the site, responding to the lessons and what's going on. Now, if this happens to be the first time that you're watching this, because I know this is on YouTube as well, I'd like to ask you to join us. You can join for free. All you have to do is go to the top of the screen and boot for our free membership, and start getting involved in some free lessons and learning more about singing and learning more about the site here and how committed, how truly committed we are to bringing you quality lessons. And with that said, I think that wraps up the weekly news on Friday the 13th, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the site all week long. Come hang out in the forum, write me something, put up a video. Hey, did you see that the video of the 8-year-old little girl singing? Wow, check that out. And I talked about it a little bit, responded. She has great technique. And you might say, okay, great, so here we are. We have to learn how to sing, and there's a little 8-year-old running around who just sings perfectly. Well, like I said, like I talked a little bit on the forum about it, she is a natural, but she still needs instruction. She needs to learn how to save that beautiful voice of hers as she gets older and starts to learn how to sing. If she puts too much pressure on her vocal cords, and she can hurt herself. The greatest singers in the world can hurt themselves if they don't understand the proper techniques. But it's always wonderful to listen to a natural and see where they are, what they're into. Anyway, that wraps it up. I'll see you guys next time.